All right, good morning. So we're here to chat about some of the competition with Call It Closed.
Mhm.
The first thing that I always like to say is that I never badmouth or talk negatively about the competition. There's a lot of great companies out there. They just do things differently, and we believe that we built a better system, especially from the agent standpoint. And so that's kind of what we go with. That's our philosophy. But what we can talk about are, the facts, right? We can talk
Mhm.
about numbers and what other companies offer and compare that to what Call It Closed offers. So, I think we're going to primarily talk about some of the smaller companies today. We've covered in the past some of the bigger companies, the split companies, Keller Williams with a cap, Caldwell Banker, split. Usually the highest split you can get with them if you're a really, really great producer is 85-15. Most of their
Mhm.
agents are 70-30. But there's the rise of the 100% company, right? There's a lot of
Mhm.
100%
Mhm.
companies out there now. And so, with Call It Closed, one of the keys is being able to differentiate our company from all of those other 100% companies out there. And so the first thing I would say is most of those 100% companies that are in the market, they're local companies. The majority of them are local companies, meaning, they're mom and pop shops, or they open in a particular market, and that's the only market that they're in and the only market that they plan to be in. And so those 100% companies, there's some of them with over 1,000 agents, but they're localized. And so, they don't get the benefits of a national brand with the referral base and things like that. We just had a referral. Actually, I think, Angie, you are the one that sent a referral down to Florida not too long ago,
Mhm.
to one of our Florida agents, and you're a North Carolina agent. So that's what we want to build. That's one of the reasons that we wanted Call It Closed to be national to begin with, and hopefully, one day international. That was one of the benefits that we saw when we owned our Remax offices, was that networking and the Remax agents love to refer business to Remax agents. And it's the same with the other big brands, Keller Williams. They love to refer, within the company. And so we wanted that piece to Call It Closed, which is one of the reasons that we were always going to be a national company. The other thing is that most of those localized companies, because they're local, they're limited on what they can offer the agent. They can't usually offer them a lot of the tools, or at least not the highest quality tools. So they maybe give them a website or something like that. Maybe a website, what they call a website in a box, or a couple of things, maybe some type of transaction software or
Mhm.
whatever. But they just don't have the ability financially to provide the higher quality tools for the agents, or a larger number of tools, because they're the philosophy originally with the 100% companies when they came out was, well, we'll give you 100% of your commission. You're going to pay a monthly fee, and you're going to pay a transaction fee. But because we're giving you 100%, you have to go out and do everything else yourself.
Right.
So branding, marketing, everything. And because they're local, again, they don't have that national brand, recognition. Now we know that agents, branding is not nearly as important as it used to be. People don't go into a Remax office anymore typically to buy a house. They call an agent to buy a house. But at the same time, to have brand recognition when you're going into a listing appointment or something like that, there is some importance and value to that. So that's kind of the smaller 100% companies. And again, typically they don't offer many tools. Their fee structures vary anywhere from, $29 a month to 350, $400 a month. And their transaction fees vary. Again, everybody's model is different. It depends on what they want. But in the recent years, there have been a couple of companies that have expanded to the point where they felt like they could then start expanding into other markets. So
Mhm.
one of those is JP and Associates. They started in the Dallas Metroplex. They have just recently expanded into the Charlotte, North Carolina market, and also into the Orlando, Florida market.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what other markets they're in, but I know that they are trying to grow a little bit. They're definitely a different model than Call It Closed. Their fee structures are higher. Their transaction fee is almost double what call it closed transaction fee is, but they do give their agents some decent tools, and their leadership is great. I've heard really good things about them. Another bigger 100% company is Fathom Realty. Fathom Realty also started in Texas. They are they're great guys that own that company, and again, they give agents some good tools. Their transaction fee is, I believe, $450, and then they also have a monthly fee. HomeSmart is another one of those companies. HomeSmart is different from Fathom and JP and Associates because it is a franchise model. So brokers buy into a franchise just like they would a Remax, and then they get the systems. So it is a 100% company, and they do have, a couple different fee structures as far as what they offer. They do give agents some good tools. HomeSmart is one of the ones that they do give agents some really good tools. But again, the fee structure is a little higher, and then because it is a franchise, the different broker owners can do some different things in there. There can be a little bit of some additional fees, franchise fee, that type of thing that, we don't have at Call It Closed. There's another one called Realty One that has, gotten somewhat popular. Again, they give agents some pretty good tools. I believe the system they use is called MoxieWorks for their CRM and their transaction software and things like that. So they do give agents some tools, but yet again, their fee structure is a little higher. So with Call It Closed, we have a few advantages. One is we are growing faster than some of those other companies. So HomeSmart is in multiple states. They're definitely a major player. Fathom is in a few states now. JPAR is in 3 or 4 states. So we're in 5 right now. We're about to be open literally any minute in 3 more. I literally am checking my phone all day long yesterday to see why Missouri wasn't open yet, but Missouri, Nevada, and Arizona will be very soon. Kansas within the next month, that would be 9, and then California likely will be next, and that would make 10. So, we're growing pretty quickly. I expect we'll be in several more, by the end of the year. We originally thought we'd be in 20 to 25, but with COVID, it has slowed everything down a little bit as far as that type of growth. But the point of that is, not so Call It Closed can be big. The point is that the bigger that we get as far as our spread, again, that's where those benefits come in to being a national company, to having national branding, to be able to build that referral network and talk to agents in, all parts of the country. A lot of people moving out of California right now. A lot of people moving, into North Carolina from some of these other parts of the country. They want a mountain cabin or something, right? They want to go up to Boone or, whatever. And a lot of people moving to Florida. So that networking and that referral base is very important. But after all of that, you can make an argument that everything is pretty close up to this point, right? You can say, well, yeah, the fees are a little bit higher, but they have an office, or there's several different things, and of course we're virtual, and some of those other companies I mentioned do have office space. So again, benefits to both models. What really sets Call It Closed apart, what makes us different from any other 100% company out there, is the residual income. It's the revenue share. Nobody else has that. Certainly not on a national level. There may be 1 or 2 mom and pops. I know of one in Miami that does something based on, up to a certain number of agents. Basically, they can get their monthly fee paid, if they bring a certain number of agents to the company. But that's not really revenue share. That's just a bonus for, bringing somebody in. You might be talking about $100 or a couple $100. With Call It Closed, the potential of the residual is thousands of dollars a month. If you build out your network, so to speak. And as you know, we don't focus on recruiting. We don't make that the high point of the company. We focus on what we offer the agents to sell more real estate. We focus on the tools that they need and the software that we provide, things like KV Core. the best CRM on the market, as far as what, has been voted on by the industry. App Files, I know, is the best transaction software out there. I've used pretty much all of them. There's nothing better than App Files. And then, we offer other systems, leads, things like that, that a lot of these companies, again, just don't offer or can't offer. And our philosophy has been that we're going to go big or go home, right? I mean, we're going from day one, we were going to be a national company, international company. And so we've invested into that, with our agents, and that's what we continue to do. And we continue to look for ways that we can give our agents more systems, more tools, not so that we can confuse them, but so that they can have more tools and better tools. The more tools in your tool belt, usually there's a tool that fits a specific thing. You don't use a wrench to turn a screw, right? You use a screwdriver, and there's a reason for that. And so it's the same thing with real estate. If you just have kind of one or two tools, they don't always fit everything that you need to do, and they don't always fit every agent. Different agents like to use different systems, different interfaces. Maybe one's more user friendly than the other, and the other agent is super techie, and they want to really like customize their email campaign and put video emails and do all this kind of stuff. So we give agents the options to be able to do that. But again, the biggest difference is the revenue share. And so, as you guys know, if you look at our chart, the potential is huge. Like I said, thousands of dollars a month. And we're still a relatively new company, basically just about a year old now. And we have, last month, we had 4 agents make over $500 in residuals. So, you said, well, $500 is not that much money. Well, if a month, I mean, $500 is not bad. It could pay a car payment. Our fee is only $99 a month, so you're definitely working for us for free. I think probably 15 agents at least last month made more than their $99 in residuals. So they're working for us for free, and getting all these tools and all this systems and everything like that, even if they only make $100 a month on residuals, right? But $500-600 a month, that can make a difference in somebody's life. $1,000 a month, I know we're going to see that soon. Probably, maybe even next month, we'll see the first agent make over 1,000. Now you're talking about, potentially a house payment, and so, and it's just going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up from there, and agents have that ability. So I would say that is the number one thing, and again, we don't want to push recruiting. We don't want to hire agents and say, oh, go out and recruit. We just want to tell agents, look, here's all these tools, sell more real estate. That's what we want you to do. We want you to sell more real estate than what you're doing now. We believe we can help you do that, not only through the software and the systems, but through the training, through the coaching, through, other things that we give you, that are non-tangible, right? The non-tangible things that we give you, servant leadership, all of the other things that Call It Closed is built on: family mentality, family atmosphere. And so we give you all of that. Go sell more real estate. But by the way, as you're selling real estate and you're in that transaction with that other agent for 30 or 45 days, and hopefully it's a smooth one and you don't have any fights or arguments, and you tell that other agent, hey, you should check out Call It Closed. Or most of the time that other agent is going to ask, hey, what's Call It Closed? And you send them to a website. You say, hey, let me set up a phone call, a confidential call with one of our agents, or one of our managers or recruiters. And, that's it. You can turn them over and let us do the sales pitch, so to speak. Let us tell them, about the benefits of Call It Closed, and what we can offer them. But you, as the agent, as the boots on the ground, are always going to be that first line. You're going to be that one that has that first contact, hopefully builds that warm relationship, that, you can have a little bit of influence and say, hey, this is really good. I mean, I'm not just pushing something here. It's a really good company to work for. They really care about their agents. They really, give us some great tools, and they help us sell more real estate. So you should check them out. And that's really all we ask you to do. Now, of course, we have some agents who are, out there who are really picking up the recruiting side and running with it, and that's
Mhm.
fine. I mean, we're not going to have a problem with that as long as they do it right and ethically and all of that, right? But again, our focus is selling more real estate. So I hope that answered your questions about those specific companies. Do you have any other questions that I didn't answer?
No, Chad, that was perfect. Actually, perfect. I was introduced to Call It Close through the whole idea of 100% commission. I personally came over from EXP, was still a fairly new agent, and recognized just how much money I was paying EXP. I got that close to capping. I had a transaction in progress around the time of my anniversary, so wouldn't have mattered. Missed capping, but had I capped, that would have been like $16,000 that I paid EXP versus had in my own pocket. So 100% commission sounded good, and I heard that first from a former EXP agent. So I watched the Call It Closed videos, and I thought, okay, I've got to do due diligence. I should check out these other 100% companies too if I'm changing over for 100%. And so I did, looked at Fathom. I saw some of the others, but I had a conversation with Aprilli, and that totally, and also with David, the broker here in North Carolina, and it just sealed the deal for me. I didn't even do any further investigation. And what it was about those conversations was that it is like a family, and it's a family of faith. And so that was really what brought me over to Call It Close. That's what made me just drop everything and jump right over. So I do appreciate that. I really do feel loved here, and that's important. It really does help me to motivate me to get out and do my job and do it well. And like you said, do it ethically. So I appreciate it, and definitely appreciate the call and the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're so glad to have you. We appreciate you, being with us. We appreciate all of our agents. And yeah, I mean, we're happy that you chose us, and hopefully that you'll be confident in talking to other people about us. And you can always go, Angie, directly to any of those companies, of course, that we talked about. Go to their websites
Mhm.
and click on join or careers, or they have various different things, but most of them have their pay structures published somewhere. Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, but you can find it. And so that might help you, if you're running up against some other 100% companies. But the key thing, like I said, it's kind of, I usually, in conversations with 100% companies, I typically just steer past the fees and all of that and say, you know what, there's a lot of stuff that's the same, but what's really different is the revenue share. And typically that gets people's attention. And of course with EXP, uh, that also gets people's attention because they're used to that. And so with EXP, the short answer, the easy answer is, oh, we're just like EXP, except you keep 100% of your commission.
Right.
And that's really the short answer to that. And even icon agents, which are agents that have capped and done an additional 20 transactions beyond their cap in
Hmm.
order to qualify to get the cap back in stock. Even those agents are coming over to Call It Close now because they realize that the reality is they're not really getting money back. They're always paying in more than
Amen.
they're getting back.
Mhm.
So yep, pretty easy to recruit, or bring in the EXP folks. That the ones that are newer agents, especially with the company now, they have recruiters, at the top levels that are making crazy money on revenue share. It's hard to recruit those guys,
Mhm.
but the agents, the ones, again, the boots on the ground, which is what every company should be built on and about. For the regular agent, uh, Call It Close is a hard deal to beat. So that's usually what we say, hey, this is hard to beat, but if you find something better, be blessed and go do that. So anyway, well, thanks so much,
Thank
guys,
you.
for the
Thanks
call,
so
and
much.
feel free to reach out anytime, Angie.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you both.
Bye bye.